But overall, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, George, that mask is freaking me out.
Yeah. Ready?
Okay.
Ready.
Okay.
We're back.
Okay, we're back. So we're back for a Halloween special. But what would Halloween be without La Llorona? What would it be? So that is my
It'd
movie.
be fabulous.
The Curse of La Llorona. This is 2019. The movie was made.
Let's see a trailer.
Oh yeah, so let's see it. Yeah, let's see that.
Can I ask you a question, Father? Do you know anything about La Llorona?
The weeping woman.
It's a folktale.
To some.
Stay in the car, okay? And please don't wake up your sister.
It's your fault! I tried to stop her!
Who did you try to stop?
La Llorona.
What's going on?
The Curse of La Llorona.
In the world.
Okay. I was really surprised by the bad reviews this movie got. Let me say up front that I really liked it. I really like this movie. I'm not often scared in horror movies because I don't actually believe in them, so they're not scary to me. So, but this whole time I was kind of at the edge of my seat. It kind of started and it didn't stop till the end. It was just kind of kept you in suspense. So it was criticized for its simplistic story. I think that's unfair because it is a simple story. It's a simple story of a woman who killed her children to get back at her cheating husband, and now she roams the lakes and waterways weeping. It's a Mexican folklore, and this film stays very true to the legend. It takes place in 1973 Los Angeles as Anna Tate Garcia, a social worker, played by Linda Cardellini, and mother of 2 children, has been recently widowed and is working a case of a mother who is suspected of child abuse. Her 2 children she finds locked in a closet with burn marks up and down their arms. And she obviously thinks it's a case of child abuse. But as they're taking the mother away, she warns her, this is La Llorona, right? And the troubled mother is Patricia Velasquez. That's the actress. She was protecting them from La Llorona, and who has the burn marks on the children's arms from. Anna soon finds her own children drawn into this terrifying supernatural realm also. She wants your children. The film is directed by Michael Chavez, The Conjuring. The cinematography is great, so I actually like this movie a lot. Patty.
Okay. Debbie Downer, here we go.
Go back to the hat again. There we go.
Thank you, babe. Whatever her name is. Okay. I gotta say, it was well paced. That's the last of my good.
It was well paced,
Yes.
which is an.
But it's always the fucking Catholic Church. Couldn't they pick a different religion?
Hey.
Talking to a nun over here.
They use it over and over again. Tortured spirit singing younger children, mother gives all, like a Rambo, to smite her. I find it so predictable. And it's kind of a cut and paste story. I've seen this story a freaking million times.
Yes, it's hundreds of years old.
Yes, but I've seen this story a million times in other. They could present it a different way. The ending, predictable. The death scene is so overused. That's what I wrote. And even though it's well paced, and I'll give it that, it's like I could have done my nails, which I haven't. And
Unlike me. Yeah, go ahead.
And that's why you're weeping.
Susie's nails are fabulous. It's just I've been there before. I've seen it before, and it's nothing special. So, do I say see it again? No. Why?
Well, this is a funny thing. I was just telling them how my introduction to La Llorona was on a Got Milk commercial. If somebody remembers that, back I think in the 90s or something.
80s.
Was it the 80s?
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. I really didn't know any of the legend until I started watching this movie. So I just knew she would cry. That's all I knew from the
They
Got Milk
always
commercial.
cry.
So they cry.
Yeah, it's called the Weeping Woman. That's her name.
Okay. So and I realized this is like
That's what the Llorona is, the Weeping Woman.
yeah.
Oh.
And that's why, that's what I didn't, that's all I sort of knew, that she wept, but I didn't know why she wept. So here they sort of explain that legend, or at least I'm assuming this is the correct interpretation of the legend of why she cries. But then it's like, oh, is she sort of like, and I'm assuming this is also from Mexico, right? Not just Mexico. Okay. That is she sort of like the Mexican boogeyman that we have here, where it's like, oh, if you misbehave, the boogeyman's going to come and punish you.
She's the Hispanic boogie woman.
Okay.
All of his
This has gone to the whole
Hispanic
Latin
countries.
America.
Oh, through all. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what I was curious. So for me in general, it's like, okay, so I'm watching the movie and I did have the same reaction as Patty. It's like, okay, there's nothing sort of original. It's still sort of the same kind of ghost story that you're seeing. Yep. And now it's part of the Conjuring series too, which again, I was not a big fan of either. So it's like, okay. But, I have to admit, like you said, well paced. It's shot actually sort of nicely and everything. So the fault is that I'm just not being drawn into the suspense of the story.
Absolutely.
What I thought was great though was the drama of the story, especially when it comes to mothers and their children. Because I will say this about the Patricia Alvarez character.
Yeah.
She's the sort of the first victim that you come, huh?
Velasquez.
No, that Alvarez is the character's name. I'm sorry. Yeah, Patricia Velasquez is the actress.
The actress.
But I thought she was that was sort of the character that she's the one where you think she's deranged. What is wrong with this woman? Why does she keep? You realize
I never think they're deranged.
I didn't think so, but yeah.
Oh, I did. The way you could see that she reacted, but she knows something that everyone else doesn't, and believes in something.
Yes.
See, once you have that sort of core belief, it doesn't matter what's true or not.
Right.
That's what you're going to believe, so that's what you're going to do. So at first you think, okay, she's disturbed, which I sort of did because I didn't know where they're going with this movie. And I thought,
Right.
no, she probably is correct. And then, of course, it comes on to the main character, the Anne Tarta Garcia.
Right.
Now, she is also married into a Hispanic family, I'm assuming, right? She herself is not. So she knows sort of probably, she's unfamiliar with the culture,
Right.
but she does know, okay, something is going on. So another person I actually have to acknowledge is Raymond Cruz as Rafael Olvera. I thought that character was also a very interesting character only because I like the fact, and Patty, I'm sorry, I love Catholic movies that deal
love
with this
Catholic
subject
movies.
because
They're
it's
just
sort
so
of
overused.
Well, I
Well,
understand that.
You mentioned the guy's name, the actor's name and the character, but what is he in the movie?
He's the curandero.
Yeah.
Thank
There you go.
Well, see, that's what I was going to say. Because what happens is,
I mean, I think I know who it is,
right.
but I mean,
but what I like about it is the fact that, because see, he's doing what I would call pagan type of
Yes.
spirituality or religion,
Yes.
if you want to call it,
How do
Ritual.
you get rid of evil spirits?
in contrast to the Catholic. Because, like I said, she goes to Catholic priest and I think I know someone who can help you.
they're-
So that's what makes me laugh, right? There's the conjunction of the two
Yes.
cultures saying,
Yes.
okay, no, we spiritually, as a Catholic priest, we have this, but we understand the people.
Yes.
Which is why I always claim, like Easter, there's always a combination of both pagan and actual Catholicism.
Yes, it's like
So-
exorcism.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So that's what I really enjoyed when he comes into it. Except that I thought, okay, is he going to be sort of the hero of the story? Because my problem was I was actually hoping I was going to have a more, say, tragic and ironic kind of story going on. Because as you said, she's a social worker. She's thinking, okay, what's wrong with this woman? Is she really responsible for the death of her children? And then she is actually put in that exact same position all of a
But
sudden.
doesn't it
So-
remind you of Case 39? It's like a lot of
Well, that's what I'm saying. See, you've seen a lot of horror films. I haven't.
yeah, I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Case 39 is the exact same story.
Oh, well, no, and that's what I mean. See, that's the only reason I wasn't engaged in this. Because, like, oh, no, we sort of seen the children in danger kind of a movie.
Right.
But like I said, to me, it was more the legend of La Llorona that I was going to find. I was hoping was going to be more interesting for me. And it wasn't as engaging. But like I said, I can't fault the movie for what it was because I think this is sort of a difficult movie. I wish they just centered on actually the whole. I would like to see someone make a film about La Llorona. Another thing I mentioned is
just did.
No,
movie.
just
actual
her
story.
alone.
I didn't
just,
know who
no,
the hell
just
she
her
was.
alone of her time period, her life
Absolutely.
before everything happened,
Right.
her history, what happened.
What they call in superhero movies an origin story.
Exactly. There you go.
No,
yes.
that's true, Sue.
Because I actually don't know the myth, and this
It was in the
obviously.
story.
Me too. I didn't know
But
the
I
myth
think
at all.
I mean, there's several La Llorona movies, and I think one of them is
Yeah.
like an origin story.
Yeah, well, I would like again. I'm not familiar with
too.
this, so that's what I would like to learn because
I would like
that
to
was
learn
sort
the
of. I
beginning.
thought that would be fascinating.
Yeah, that would have been good to have that
Jorge?
ahead of time.
Okay. Yeah, I actually enjoyed the movie. I said this movie gave me the most jump scares. But maybe because
Really?
maybe because I'm Latino and then I go up with a tail. But I thought is Annabelle part of the Conjuring stories?
It's what?
Annabelle,
Yes.
the doll?
No, it's Conjuring.
Oh, because
it's all
they-
the
they-
Part of the
movies.
Conjuring.
Because they had a
but
story
she's-
about
Yes.
the priest mentioning that he had talked about another priest with this doll. So
And
he's there with that.
Annabelle is part of Conjuring.
The movie, it's interesting because it is obviously religion, Catholic, but he's using pagan methods to fight her.
Right.
So it's kind of has that thing with a pagan and Catholic. Also, it's really, if you think about it, like Llorona is a mother that runs her children. This lady is a single mother and she works as a social worker dealing with maybe some other times mothers and the children. So the movie really has a theme about mother and children, protecting your children, maybe hurting your children. So it's just that theme is all around always, the mother and children.
Yeah, that's
from
true.
the social worker, the lady that she's doing the work on that
Right.
put her children, and then her don't think with her own single mother with children,
Case
and then like Llorona
39.
with her children. So that they would trying to go somewhere with that theme too. Actually, yeah, I actually enjoyed the movie. There's so many Llorona movies, and I found this one to be one of the better ones. Like, it's just I thought it was really well done. I like the curandero guy, and I remember that actor. I thought he was perfect for it.
Who?
He was kind of funny. The actor that played the healer, the curandero. You know,
Raymond Cruz.
Raymond Cruz, where I was telling the kids, I was telling him, "Were you scared?" No. So he said, he was getting scared. I was like, crap out of him. And were you scared? No. But so the ending kind of left me hanging a bit because I know what they're trying to say. But overall, I enjoyed it. Yeah.
I gotta say, George, that mask is freaking me out.
But he's on our side.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
Okay, well, to me, all of these movies are just remakes of The Exorcist, and I thought The Exorcist was pretty silly.
I love them.
I thought it was a pretty silly movie. I mean, I was laughing all the way through.
Wait a minute. Did you think it was a silly
Scares the
movie?
crap out of me.
So, what horror movie is a good movie to you?
Well, one that you hated.
One that's
we will
upcoming.
talk about
when-
that.
Then you have no taste. That's it. Okay.
yeah.
I mean,
It's
every one of these things it's just like a cheapo. I mean, like when in view of the things subsequently, I'd give like The Exorcist a lot more points than I did when I saw it in the first place, because I just thought I was not alone in the audience laughing at the movie on the screen, by the way, and that was like not long after.
I
it
want
opened
film.
on The Exorcist, the original Exorcist.
Yeah, I have to admit, I thought that was one of the scariest movies I remember seeing.
Me too.
both.
See, this kind of stuff doesn't scare me that much. I mean,
Well, because you probably were raised
Catholic.
Catholic. I was not.
Well, I mean, I wasn't raised that kind of Catholic. I wasn't raised that kind of Catholic. I mean, there wasn't any of that supernatural crap going on. You know, it's just.
There's a lot of supernatural crap.
I
in-
have to
in
say,
Catholicism.
I actually loved that about the Catholic Church when I was very young. It's
Yeah.
because I went to Catholic school, even though we're not Catholic, but that was the closest school to me. And that was a time when all the ritual, all the services were
ritual
in
thing, yeah.
Latin.
Yeah.
They were all in Latin. There was so many I remember we come from a Protestant family, right? It's just so boring, right? And just the Catholic Church and the nuns were our teachers, and they had these exotic outfits, and they had the candles and the incense and the.
They had great promotion.
I was in love with that. No, it comes from a different time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like royalty. It comes from a different time. So therefore, I was just saying that I just found it so exotic and romantic. I really liked it.
I found it
love the
exotic.
church.
The Gothic
I
church
love
is
the
too.
Catholic Church.
Okay, continue.
I know what you're talking about, but actually, honestly, I think it's another discussion to have outside of a movie review.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, the thing with this movie was, I think, again, I'm a fan of Linda Cardellini's, but there was nothing in this movie that I hadn't seen before.
Really?
Yeah, nothing that I hadn't seen before.
I thought it was so funny.
It was just.
What's that-
I'll give it some credit for being a House Under Siege movie, because I kind of like that whole genre.
What does that mean?
That means that at the climax of the thing is like this family in this house
Oh, okay.
being protected. But I got to also say I get very uncomfortable when I see naked children on a screen in a bathtub with an adult around, and that even though I know
Man,
that
I
she's the
already
parent and
remember
everything like that.
that.
And there's one scene where the La Llorona, I think, actually pulls her out of the bathtub that they did real quick, and I said, "No, this is not right. This is not right here." You know, I'm just.
I didn't even notice.
I actually I don't
didn't
remember
even
that,
notice.
but
I don't remember.
I do remember the scene because I thought that actually was one of the creepy scenes.
But she's a little girl, so I
No.
didn't think.
Yeah,
anything
and
of
that
it.
and that's
She's a
the thing that I
baby.
found disturbing about it, because it's like this is not. I mean, just the whole thing of like the young actress. I mean, putting a young actress in a situation like that. I mean, look what happened to Linda Blair after the Exorcist. Is that she
I
just
think
went-
Linda Blair was a lot older than this girl.
She was
right
a
here.
She was
Well,
a bit
she
older
was-
than this
she
kid,
was
but still, I
14.
mean, like then she.
This
you
girl
know.
was a little girl. She was pre.
When you're that little, you don't know that it's.
Well, I don't. Oh, I'm not.
Listen.
I
Well, but
mean,
it
yeah,
makes
but
you
I'm
still
saying it
feel
makes me. It
uncomfortable.
makes me.
It makes you
So
uncomfortable. I get
it's a
that.
personal
I get
thing.
Okay, I got it.
You know, so it was. I just well, first of all, none of these movies had anything in them that scared me in the slightest.
Right.
I mean, I don't get scared by a
What
build
was your
up, a
scariest
silence, and then a
movie?
slam sound.
What was your scariest movie?
Well,
We're coming up to it.
one of them were coming up.
The
to it,
Haunting?
that's what- yeah.
Okay,
And
give me
we'll get
another
to that.
one.
Let's wait until we get to the haunted.
Let's wait.
Okay.
So just what this is like. I mean, I won't say that it wasn't well done, but it's just that the whole genre at this point is so boring to me. To be honest,
Right now
with
it
you.
is.
And it's also every culture. It's a boogeyman movie in every culture. African
Yeah,
cultures,
exactly.
Native American. The antlers. I think it's a Native American one. And every culture has their boogeyman movie. And right, this is the another boogeyman movie for the Latino culture.
And I also say that, I'm of a certain age where I've seen so many movies that to me it's like, you know what? I can understand the younger generation really embracing these type of movies because this is something sort of new to them.
Yeah,
so.
it disturbs
I
me
disagree
in
with
that.
that totally.
Yeah, it disturbs me about the younger generation because it's like they want these kinetic thrills. I mean, like I know they consider Halloween a great horror movie.
I know it sucks.
No, the younger generation gets really scared if their iPhone shuts off.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
That's a horror film right there.
Look, let's put it. I'll go back to just to run a parallel here. When movies like Mad Max and Terminator and everything came
Great
out,
movies.
all right, when they came out, I was really into them and I watched them. And then one day it occurred to me, I said, why is everybody getting so accepting of the possibility of an apocalyptic future?
Because it's probably coming.
Well, that's part of the problem there. I mean, why embrace that? And then it got, the more I thought about it, I said, I got into the more realistic attitude of is, who's paying for the bullets? Where are the fucking bullets coming from? If you want to see a realistic thing like that, there's a guy running around with a basket, picking up the shells and stuff because that stuff costs money.
Now
And you
you're
never
in
see
my world.
Yeah, but that's what tells Susie. You have to
and
suspend
Susie are
belief when
the
you watch these
same
movies.
world,
Yes.
Yeah, well, you sure do. But
I
I mean,
saw-
after a while, I'm tired of suspending belief because if each one was different now, I mean, like because I thought like as I talked about Alien before, I think the Alien to me was a great build up to a disgusting creature that I didn't even want to look at. I wasn't
loved
scared by
Aliens.
it, but I didn't want to look at it. And with that, I said, all right, so I don't want to see this Aliens movie. Well, it happened. I loved
It
Aliens
was a
movie
great
because it was an
movie.
action
Okay,
movie.
I'm going to stop it here
Yeah, go
because we're talking about La Llorona.
Well,
Okay,
Listen to the mother, to the nun.
and so, Patty, what do you give it?
4.
I give this a 5.
I'll give it an 8.
4.
I'll give it an 8 also. It's a traditional story.
Who cares?
They carried it out very well. It's a traditional story. They brought it into now, but the story was correct. Like I was saying to Lon, if I would have done the Legend of Sleepy Hollow,
it sucks.
I can't change that story. That's a real story.
Right.
That's the story of La Llorona. Okay,
Really,
so
is it?
The Legend of Lucky Charms.
Well,
Get after me,
thank
Lucky
God
Charms.
you picked this one.
Leprechaun.
Sleepy Hollow sucks.
Well, wait a minute. Sleepy Hollow, the cartoon, or Sleepy Hollow, the
there's a book.
Tim
There's
Burton
a.
movie?
It's a very.
Washington Irving. Yeah,
and
it's
it's
a
a
Washington Irving.
Halloween
Pumpkinhead.
something they use at Halloween. A story. Same thing.
Okay.
Okay, so
So, we'll be back.
we'll be back.